can be effective only if we have the right policy and the right contents. Just using, this is a channel. If we don't have policy and we don't have content, social networks are not going to be effective for public diplomacy. Now I will provide you with the context of my understanding the place of social networks in public diplomacy. I have a list of no less than 15 instruments of public diplomacy, advocacy, media relations, new media, and so on, like 15 different instruments. New media is only one of them, an important instrument, but only one of them. In new media, we have all kinds of concepts. These are the concepts that we are using. For me, self-presentation and e-image are the most important because we are complaining all the time about media coverage of all kinds of events, people, and processes. But the internet in general and social networks in particular provide us an opportunity to self-present ourselves. Are we using effectively this opportunity? And e-image is the kind of image that we project on the web. New media platforms include several channels, several platforms, websites, cell phones, blog spheres, social media, and forums, and user-generated content. Again, notice that social media here is only one platform of several. This is a very important platform. We have talked about it earlier. These are the social media platforms. Look at the growth in users. This is Facebook users from 2004 to 2010. We have heard all kinds of reports about decline in social networks. It's not shown here. 500 million users. This is tweets per day. 100 million per day tweets. This is LinkedIn. You see only growth, now 65 million. So the growth is enormous. We have information. We have a lot of information about social networks that is there to analyze and understand. This is, for example, in the United States, breakdown of frequency. Facebook is leading, YouTube second, MySpace third, Twitter is a little bit below that. What is a social media campaign? It is a campaign that engage users via conversations, which means we deal with people, discussions, trust, engagement, relationship building, and measurement, all critical components for successful and effective public diplomacy. This is Twitter. Can we put a message in 140 words? Oh, the answer is probably not. Reality is probably yes, but we have to get used to it. There are a number of interesting and successful applications of public diplomacy in social networks. This is a very interesting application by the United States. A few years ago, the United States announced a democracy video contest. They got, I believe 1,000 videos where people around the world were asked to submit a 3-minute video about what is democracy. And now, just now, they have been following up on that project with tweet about democracy. Write in 140 words only about democracy. These are very successful ideas about engaging peoples around the world around important issues using social networks, even when you have these limitations of 140 words. There are other examples. These are examples from the Middle East. I think one very successful example on the YouTube is the Queen Rania of Jordan, fighting Arab stereotypes through dialogue with YouTube users. You can look at them, very interesting. LinkedIn, there are some differences between and among all these social networks. And you have to think which one would be the most effective for the kind of message, of the kind of audience you want to reach. And therefore, this particular social network you would use to join groups which are relevant to you, to a topic you want to promote. And then you go to people like-minded, you promote a topic, and you consult with the people about the message. There's a problem with social networks. If you have the regular media, you can easily monitor. But today, we can also quite easily monitor social media. This is one group, Thrasex, which monitors effectively all the social media and give us interesting reports. This is like 24-hour social scene. Here we have, you can get, for every hour, you can get monitoring of the kind of issues you want to find on social networks, and this is very useful to know what's going on, how successful you are or not. There are some basic guidelines that we need to follow if we want to effectively use social networks. This is the first one. Don't sell your message, as we hear from advertising people. Let people buy it. More social, less media in social media. Personification of the kind of message and ideas you want to transmit. Use the same language people speak on each platform, which means you have to use different languages, not one language. Don't be afraid of criticism leveled at you. This is okay. Welcome feedback. Be relevant, which is always a good idea. Use videos and pictures rather than text. We have heard that before, the power of the picture and the video. The advantages of the social networks are clear. You can share thoughts and messages pretty much with the entire world. But at the same time, we have emphasized listening before. Social networks provide us with many clues about where we are in the world. So getting information is important. People can talk directly to governments. Governments can bypass the media. People can talk to people. Various channels of information that can be used to move messages across the world. A face-to-face dialogue. Ability to amplify a positive message and to confront a negative message. And a significant tool for crisis management because of the immediacy, availability of the channels. There are many limitations to the utilization of social networks. First of all, there are many exaggerated expectations. This is not a magic solution. Even extensive use of the social networks is not going to resolve image and reputation problems. It's not like nation branding. It could not be a single solution to a complicated image and reputation problem. It's one instrument. It does not replace policy and content. So you have to be careful about your policy, and you need to produce content. Does not replace the traditional media, as many people have been thinking. We have concentrated too much about supplying information. We haven't thought sufficiently about how to create demand. So there's a gap between supply and demand. Offense is not sufficient. Don't just destroy the argument of the other side. This would not be sufficient. You have to also develop a positive argument on behalf of your positions. Credibility. Try to use as many non-governmental actors as possible because they are more credible than governments. And internet penetration is a major issue because it is unequal.